Good day everybody, it's Guy here. Today I want us to look at something very important. I want us to look at how yesterday executed. It's the same thing over and over and over again. It's the same thing we have been talking about, and it will always be the same thing. Okay, so guys, as I always say, if you come into your charts and you don't know exactly what you're looking for, that is gambling. You need to know exactly what you're looking for way before you even open your screen. Okay, how do you achieve that? That is so easy, guys. We have a process that we follow. We have a system that we follow. Okay, we have a method that we follow, and the steps must be so clear to you in a way that you understand your mobile device. Okay, you must understand it as much as you understand your mobile device. I believe each and every one of you understands his or her mobile device more than anything else. So even your system, you must understand it more than you understand your mobile device. You need to know, if this happens, I'm gonna do this. If this doesn't happen, I'm not gonna do anything. This is highly important. As you can see here, we will be looking at the most explosive strategy for indices. I use it for US30, NAS, and the Dow. Okay, and as you can see, these steps are simple and straightforward. Okay, these are the steps we follow each and every day. This is what enables us to take the best execution each and every day, and this is a tick box that I use every day. It tells me if I'm gonna execute or not. Okay, as the trade is in play or the setup is in play, I feel this up to this point, and if everything is met correctly, it tells me that I will execute. But if everything is not met, then I do nothing. Okay, so we're gonna start here, guys. As you can see, these are the 5 steps you follow. It's 5 because the last one is the execution. Okay, so look at this. You come few minutes before the New York session opens, so you have the entire day to yourself. Look at this, guys. Look at this. What do I mean? You see, this is for today. I have this pink box highlighted here. It starts exactly at 9:30, meaning that throughout the day I'm doing nothing. You can see this is where the day started. Up to this moment, I have done nothing, and I'm not going to do anything. Okay, I'm only going to execute inside this box, and it's roughly 3 hours. So you count from 9:30 US time, or from 9:30 New York time, you count 3 hours. If there is nothing by the end of 3 hours, you just close and accept that there is nothing for that day. It's simple and straightforward as it is. So what I'm saying is, you come 10 minutes to 5 minutes before the session begins, and that's when you're gonna do what I'll show you in a minute. You see, if we talk about yesterday, you come around here 10 to 5 minutes before the session opens, and you're gonna answer some questions which are very quick. Let's go to what you do. Okay, the first question you ask yourself is, what type of trend do you see? Because if you see a trend, that means you need a different strategy for the trend. Okay, and that will highly depend on the type of trend you see. As you can see here, I've given you different kind of trends in this book. It's in the description, by the way. The creeping trend has different kind of strategies on its own, because we have different type of creeping trends. Okay, more than 6 of them, and we have roughly 2 types of explosive trends. These are different strategies. So when you come to your charts 10 to 5 minutes before the session opens and you realize you're inside a trend, you need to apply what is written here. Okay, I've given you straightforward strategies for whatever trend you see. Okay, but you're not always gonna get a trend. There are days when they won't give you a trend, and if you don't find a trend, then what do? You proceed. Okay, but if you are in a trend, they are gonna give you a different setup, so you need to use a different strategy that I've outlined here. I've given you all the steps, the entry points, the stop losses, everything in detail. I've given you here. Okay, I've given you here. So guys, let's say there is no trend. Okay, let's say there is no trend. Okay, what do? You ask yourself, who is trapped before the session? Because when people have been trapped throughout their day, mostly they are not gonna release them, because they use those people to gather orders. What I'm trying to say here is, as you can see, I'm just gonna pull this. This is yesterday, right? Yes, this is yesterday. Who is trapped? You are coming somewhere around here. Who is trapped? What do I mean by who is trapped? I mean who is at a loss at this moment. Okay, who is at a loss? Obviously everybody who sold, everybody who went down is at a loss when prices are here. Okay, so what you do, you simply draw a box, and this is not even hard at all. Why? Because they're gonna trap above or below yesterday's closing price, and I believe this simplifies the entire process for each and every one of us. Okay, you see, everybody who went down is literally trapped. Everyone who went down is literally what? Is trapped. As you can see, it doesn't matter where you put your box. Okay, but they're gonna trap above or below this red dotted line. The indicators in my description, it's free. Okay, it's in the description. So once you know who is trapped, you proceed. Why do you want to know who is trapped? Because obviously during Asia and during London, they have been gathering orders. So most of the time, they are not going to release these guys. They might give you an opportunity to the downside just to lead you into trap volume. And if you maybe say you're selling and you're expecting that your take profit is going to be somewhere here, what's going to happen most likely is what? You're going to come and find that they reversed and on you and they have closed you. So it's important to know who is trapped so that if they are giving you an opportunity to trap volume, you know exactly what to expect. Okay, because sometimes they will lead you into trap volume, not release them, reverse on you, just like they did on this one. Sometimes they will just come enough to stop hunt these guys. Let's say these are the last guys, okay, just enough to stop hunt them. As you can see, there's a pin here, and sometimes they will break, retest, and then trend down if they want to go down. But you need to be on the safer side. And when you know who is trapped, obviously if they are giving you an opportunity into trap volume, you know that, oh, you might not expect your target to be hit somewhere around here. Why? Because most of the days they are not going to release these guys, or they might just come enough to stop hunt them and reverse on you, okay, just as they did here. Am I choosing this one because it happened? No, this is the latest day that I'm recording. It's yesterday, and I've been recording these things for a long time, okay? This is the latest day. I can't talk about today because today, obviously, we don't know. They can still come down and do something else. We will only know 10 to 5 minutes before the session opens who is trapped, okay? But some days you won't know who is trapped. Why? Because some days you can see there'll be people down, and there'll be people up, so you won't know who's actually trapped. Are those above trap or are those below trapped? You won't know, mostly if the session is opening in the middle. As you can see, this is the high, this is the low. So if the session is opening in the middle, you won't know obviously who is trapped. But if the session is opening somewhere around here, you know exactly who is trapped. Why? Because everybody who went down is at a loss, okay? Okay, now what do you do after this? You proceed to the next step. As I've colored this one in green, some days you're not gonna know, just as I've just explained to all of you, okay? So you go to step 2, you wait for the session to open. I told you I'm not gonna do anything up until this session opens here, okay? I'm not gonna do anything up until this session over here opens, okay? I'm not gonna do anything, okay? So I wait for the session to open and I don't take the first candle. Why? Because this is when most of the orders are getting fulfilled. You know the stocks open during the New York session, okay? So at this time, this is when most of the orders are actually doing what? They are getting fulfilled. So there's going to be a lot of volatility. What do you do? Nothing, okay? Very important, very important. Okay, now that we waited for the session to open and we don't fall for the first one, we go to the next step, okay? Step 3, identify trap volume during the session. The first one was identify before the session. Now what do? You identify trap volume during the session. This is highly important. You need to know trap volume inside this box. How will you achieve that? How do you know he's trapped during the session? Guys, it's not that hard. I'm going to show you here, okay? Let's say, for example, prices go up, and then all of a sudden, they start doing something funny like this, okay? Remember, to have an edge, you need to know what is happening. Let's say all of a sudden they do something like this. Sorry, guys. Okay. Let's say all of a sudden I'm going to go black. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go back to the black one. Okay. So if, for instance, they start doing something like this, you don't have an edge at this point because you don't know what's happening. But if they start doing something like this, and they start doing something like this, at this point here, you know they've been trapping, okay, because they gave you a chart pattern. Now you know they have been trapping. You know everybody inside this box is being trapped. However, at this point here, you don't know which direction they're going to take. Why? Because you don't see the other side. You don't see the amount of orders. Only the insiders see the amount of orders. Remember, day trading is all about manipulation, right? So you don't see the other end. Only the insiders, aka market makers, they are the only one who see the opposite end, okay? So what does this mean? This means you try by all means to avoid being caught inside this trapping area here, okay? You avoid being in here. So your job is to wait. Obviously, if prices are just going in one direction, you don't have any edge. You do nothing. You just wait, okay? And when they are trapping, you do nothing. You wait. Okay, now we know that there is trapping. However, we don't know who is really trapped because we just know there is trapping. Some days, guys, they'll do something like this, okay? Some days, they will do something like this. Okay, I just love explaining these things because they are going to happen almost every time. Okay, so let's say someday I'm going to give you both the scenarios. Okay, let's say they come from up and then they start doing this. You see, this is a rectangle. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, IDM needs to be registered. Okay, I'll deal with that. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. At this point here, what happens is, you know there's trapping, but you don't know who is trapped. Okay, and just because they are coming from the upside doesn't mean they're gonna continue down, and just because they're coming from the upside doesn't mean they're gonna reverse up. Remember, you don't see the orders. They will always go into the side with the most orders, which benefits them more. Okay, because at the end of the day, they have the upper hand because they control everything, and they're gonna go into a side which has more benefits for themselves. Okay, so at this point, yes, you know there is trapping during the session. Okay, and just to simplify this for you, this is what you're gonna see 95% of the time. Okay, 95% of the time it's gonna be triangles. Yes, there'll be rectangles, and some days there will be something like okay, something like this, where this is a shoulder, this is a head, and this is a head. And okay, I made a mistake, but you all saw the mistake that I made, and this is a shoulder. Okay, and then some days obviously they'll give you something like something like this. Okay, they'll give you something like this. I've just drawn this. Okay, don't mind my colors, they are horrible because I'm not keeping one color. However, some days they'll do something like this. Mostly they give you this one when prices have been coming down. This is what we call the half Batman. Okay, this is most likely gonna go to the downside. Okay, but you should not conclude until they show you. Okay, so now you know who is trapped. What do you do next? Okay, you wait for the evidence. Why? Because at this point, as I've outlined here, you don't know which direction they are gonna take. Okay, so you need evidence. Evidence of what? Evidence that now they've decided to take this direction. Okay, why? Because you want to go in line with them. Besides, you can't beat them. There's no way you can beat them. Okay, you only ride along with them. You join them at the earliest point as possible. Okay, so now you need evidence. Okay, let's just say over here they decide to break out with a candle like this. Okay, evidence is the biggest engulfing candle that breaks out. Okay, the biggest candle that breaks out. Okay, you see the biggest candle that breaks out. Okay, if it's this here, sorry guys, let me just do something different. Okay, just bear with me. Okay, just bear with me. Okay, let's say for instance they now decide to do something like this. Okay, and they decide to give you the biggest candle over here. Okay, they decide to give you the biggest candle over here. This is now evidence. Guys, this must be the biggest candle. If they have this last push that I call all eyes on me, like you see, they give you this last push to the downside. This is called all eyes on me because they don't go to the opposite end. Okay, it's called all eyes on me. All eyes on me. Why? Because this tells you they don't want to release these guys. Okay, this is highly effective. Okay, so I call this all eyes on me. When I see this, I call it all eyes on me because it tells me expect something. Okay, even here guys, even here, it doesn't matter, this has to be the biggest. Okay, this one is rather easy. This one is rather easy, very easy. This one, even this one up here, it's rather easy. Okay, so now all you need is evidence. Evidence of what? Evidence that tells you that we are now going in this direction. Okay, that's what you need. Okay, now you got your evidence. All you need to do now is to look at your time, to look at your clock, to look at your watch. Okay, to look at what you watch. I told you we only enter if the evidence happens from 20 to 22, from 50 to 10 pause. If it happens around these green highlighted times, now this is just your watch. Okay, you need it to be as close as possible to the clock or as close as possible to the half hour mark. Okay, which is half past. Okay, which is half past. So the evidence must be as close as possible to here or as close as possible to here. Okay, we only take it from here to here. If it happens around 1/4 you don't take it. Okay, it's less effective. If it happens from 50 to 10 past, that's when you take it. Okay, that's when you take it. Remember, everything here has been tested. Okay, so we take it around here, but I love it more when it happens between 55 and 5 or between 25 and 35, because this is as close as possible to this point here. I hope you all understand. Okay, now the time is an important factor, hence why I said we're gonna be feeling this one. Okay, we'll go through this together for those who are new. Okay, but for those who have been on this platform for a long time, you know that this is the same thing every day. Okay, so you see, that's why we cater for the time. This is the final decider because it's highly important. You cannot ignore times. Times are very, very important. Okay, and remember, we only have 3 hours, so not much can go wrong in a period of 3 hours because you don't have much time. Okay, so if this happens at the right time, what do? You execute. Strictly stops are 25. Okay, minimum target is 50. Okay, why? Because this gives you 1:2. I don't really like 1:2, but this is the minimum we are willing to take. Okay, because the most important thing in this industry is allowing your wins to run. Okay, if you have 1:4, that's good. If you have 1:10, that's good. Okay, if you have 1:20, this is good. Okay, why? Because it's gonna be impossible to blow your account if you have something like this. Okay, it doesn't matter. Even if you have a win rate of 20%, you're never gonna blow your account with something like this. Okay, but anyway, anyhow, this is the minimum we are willing to go. Okay, but stop strictly 25. Minimum target, this is max. Minimum target is 50. Okay, now we're gonna go to the real thing. Okay, we're gonna go to the real thing. Okay, guys, now let's go back. We want to see something very crucial here. This was yesterday. Okay, and if we were to identify who was trapped, obviously we did this together, and everybody down here is trapped. Okay, so we know by the time we are coming to our session, to make this even more simple, you can just highlight this one with a color that will allow you to see. Okay, now you know he's trapped. Okay, now you know he's trapped. So what did we say? What is the first step? Identify trapped. Okay, what is the second step? Wait for the session to open. Okay, what is the third step? Identify those who are trapped during the session. How do you achieve that? With a pattern. Okay, with a pattern. I've given you a lot of patterns. All the patterns you'll ever need, they are in the playbook, and most of you already have it. Okay, so look at this, guys. This is what I saw yesterday. Okay, this is what I saw, and I told you, don't get married to a certain index or a certain asset. Okay, compare them at the same time and take the easiest one. Already I told you, NAS, S&P, and Dow. Compare them and take the easiest one. Okay, so you see this one, this is a triangle. Oh, okay, this is a triangle. We are looking at this one. This is a triangle. Now we have to feel this this thing over here. Very important. Remember, if you are in a creeping trend, by the time you do your analysis, you need to apply a strategy that relates to that creeping trend. Okay, you will know the trend you see. Okay, and you will know what to do next, because I've given you all the steps. If this is the type of creeping trend you see, then you apply this. I've given you everything, the illustrations. I've given you all the information, your entry and everything. Okay, I've given you these things. So here you have more than 10 different kind of strategies on these alone. Okay, so you need to know, if you see a trend, you don't proceed with this, you apply a strategy relative to that explosion. Okay, so here we see what a triangle, and this is the Dow, right? Dow, we see what a triangle is. The pattern perfect? For a pattern to be perfect, it needs 3 touches down and 3 touches up. This is strictly for rectangles and for triangles. Okay, why? Because obviously a head and shoulder is by itself three pushes. Okay, go down, go down, go down, 1 2 3. So this one fulfills this requirement, and it doesn't even need to do something else. The same applies to a half Batman. If you are gonna get something like this, you'll mostly see, oh, they say go up, and then they come and touch up, and they come and touch down, and they send you up 3 times or even more. So by nature, this one's automatically fulfill the requirement. So these 3 touches apply to rectangles and triangles. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Is the pattern perfect? It needs to have 3 touches up and 3 touches down. Okay, let's see, is it perfect? Okay, let's count. We have 1 here, we have, oh sorry, we have 1 up here, right? And then we have another one here, and then we have another one here, and then we have the third one here. So even if the third one is a breakout, okay, we accept it. But remember, there's all eyes on me. Had they bounced and given this, you see what they gave here, this last push to the top, had they given this here, like for instance, sometimes they won't give you 3 touches on all the sides. Oh, this thing, okay, sometimes they won't give you 3 pushes on all the sides, but they will do something like this. I call this what? All eyes on me, because when they do this, they are telling you something huge is coming. Okay, all eyes on me. This is what I call this. Okay, however, it's just my way of calling it and simplifying things for myself. So this is called all eyes on me. Had they bounced and given this one, this will have sufficed, although we had 2 pushes at the top. Why? Because this is the last one, and this is more common. It's more frequent. You're gonna see it most of the time. So sometimes you'll have 2, but you'll have this last one here. Okay, you can take it as perfect. Okay, because if they do this, it's called all eyes on me. Okay, they are telling you something beautiful is coming. But for this one, was it perfect? No. Why? Because they give you 1, 2, and 3 touches down. There is 1 touch lacking up here. Okay, and for these touches, I use 3 to make sure people are patient. Okay, and they actually get the best executions by 4. Okay, so now with this one, I will recommend, if you don't have the experience, you just leave it alone, because it's not perfect and it did not meet actually everything we needed it to fulfill, right? Okay, good. So now we go to the NES. Okay, the NES. Okay, the NES, same thing applies. Sorry. Who is trapped? You are coming somewhere here. Who is trapped? Everybody down. Everybody down. So you are aware that everybody down is trapped. Okay, you are aware that everybody down is trapped, and as I said, guys, they're gonna trap below, up, or above the closing price of the previous day. Okay, why am I saying everybody down is trapped? Because everybody who sold from Asian and London is really at a loss when we come to our session. Remember, we are coming to a session 10 to 5 minutes before the session opens, right? So it's somewhere around here, and everybody who went down is at a loss. Okay, when I say trap, I simply mean who is at a loss at the time of analysis. Okay, let me take this all eyes out. Okay, I'm taking this one out. Okay, so by the way, already before we can even do anything, they have released them. So now trap volume doesn't apply anymore. Why? Because they've just released them before even giving us an opportunity. Okay, so we delayed this. Okay, I can show you guys. You see, this is the last point down. Okay, but they've already came down and released them, and we had no opportunity until that. Okay, so we delayed what? Trapped volume. I hope you understand me when I'm saying this. Okay, and then all of a sudden they start playing inside. I told you, you don't have an edge until you know who is trapped, and this is something they're gonna do over and over again. Why do they do this perfectly? I don't know. Okay, but this is what they do. Okay, and this is a 1 minute chart, so it's obviously easy to see. Okay, look at this, guys. They give a triangle. I told you 95% of the time it's gonna be what? Triangles. So we need to see. Okay, now we erase what we saw, but again we see a triangle. Is it perfect? Okay, it's fine. Let's see if it's perfect. We need 3 touches up and down. Okay, this is the first touch up, this is the second touch, it's the first touch down. They go all the way up. You see, they've passed half mark, because somebody will say, but they didn't touch the line. But they came as close as possible. Okay, so we call this a touch. Okay, and then another touch down. Okay, this is where you have to make judgment, because sometimes people wait for 100% perfect things, but mostly they won't give you that. Okay, because this is not even supposed to be a single line, it's supposed to be an area. Okay, and by the way, this line is supposed to be like this. Okay, let's see, this line was something like this. Okay, yes. Why? Because we take the most touches. Your line must have the most touches, not just 1 touch. Okay, the most touches. As you can see, they touch, they came and touch here. So above already we have 3, and then we have 3 down, because you see they came as close as possible. Okay, and then again they give us another touch. Okay, is it perfect? Yes, but there was a trick here. So is it perfect? Yes. Now we need the time it takes, because if it's greater than 1 hour, this simply means you are able to target 100 points. But preferably, I'm actually introducing something holding till the close. Why? Because most of the day they will close. If they go down, they'll close down. okay, they'll always close near the last low made, okay? So look at this, guys. If it's above 1 hour, you can target 100. If it's less than an hour, you can target 50. This is for NAS and Dow, okay? Because S&P is times 2 volatile. So if on this one you're targeting 100, on S&P you can target 200. Why? Because this is double volatile as the others, but you have to make sure you understand the position sizes, okay? So what time does it take for building the pattern? We are taking it step by step, remember. Okay, guys, it's so simple. From the first touch, you just count, okay? You see the first number. If you're using MT4, the first number here is the time. So we have 114 minutes. 114 minutes is above 60 minutes. So this obviously took more than 1 hour. So you are safe to target 100, okay? Okay, you are safe to target 100, okay? Okay, yes, I know I'm introducing holding till the close, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment, okay? Let's just proceed with this. So you see, you feel this thing here, it's going to help you a lot, okay? So let's proceed. What do we need? Evidence. What did we say? Evidence is the biggest candle that breaks out, okay? Now this is what we're going to be looking at. Hence I'm blowing this thing all up, okay? The reason for my blowing, I want you to see, you see, we have this super big candle, okay? This is not the biggest candle, okay? It's not the biggest candle from the last touch, because we have this big candle and we have this big candle, okay? We have these big candles, okay? Yes, the time is perfect, but if you look, this is not the biggest candle, okay? This is not the biggest candle. They come and retest. Again, when they retest, we need them to go with the biggest candle. You see, this one again is not an engulfing candle, okay? If they retest, we need to see a big engulfing candle, okay? But this is not really a big engulfing candle because it's still the same size as this one. And here they're trying to go, but look at the candle. It fails. It has a huge pin. So guys, you need to understand candles here, okay? I've been talking about this for the longest time, okay? You need to understand what? You need to understand candles here, because this is not... You see, had they given you this candle somewhere here after the retest, it would have been perfect. Had they given you this candle here somewhere here, it would have been perfect. So for me, I always tell myself, if they want to give you a huge evidence candle, they will give it to you. But if they don't, that means they have other plans. You see, inside they give you this big candle, they give you this big candle. You see, had they given this one somewhere over here, I was gonna take it, but they didn't give it from the breakout and they didn't give it from the retest, okay? Because somebody might have taken this and maybe they've lost. But you need to understand what is meant by the biggest candle, because if they are shifting the zones, they're gonna give you something big, okay? Okay, they don't even have to force it. It's natural. They always do that, okay? So look at this. They didn't do that. What did they do? They came back inside. And by the way, when they broke out here, for me, I was just watching this because you know that the NAS and S&P are highly correlated. And if I come here, I use these correlations most of the time. If I come here, you'll see that this one gave me something like this, okay? Again, okay, I was supposed to go through this individually, but again, it's going to be helpful. You see, this one was still playing somewhere around. Okay, let's look at the times. I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I need everything to have proof, okay? I need everything to have proof. This one broke out at 1621, okay? 1621. The broker's behind in 2 hours, by the way. Where is 1621? You see, 1621, we were still inside. You see, we were still inside here. So this one was just playing and playing and playing, and they showed no signs of actually breaking out. So sometimes these correlations will work for you, but besides correlations, the candles, there is no big evidence candle. If this candle closed somewhere here, it would have been a sign that now they are willing to change what they are willing to change the zones. But because they didn't do that, obviously there is a reason to that, and that's when they came down and boom, this is what you need, okay? Look at this. It's not here. The only time they give you a super big one is on this one down here. Why didn't they take this one and put it here? This is why I say I have a free backtesting tool in my description. Just use it, okay? Use it to backtest and understand these things, because these things will really help. You see, this one is what we were looking for. It breaks out, okay? It breaks out. And again, if you were looking at correlation, this one had already broken out. So most of the time, if one is behind, the one that is behind is going to give you the best execution, okay? Between NAS and the NAS and the S&P, mostly one will follow. And if one follows, obviously that's going to give you the best ideas ever, okay? So guys, look at this. They gave the evidence on the downside. This became the failed breakout, and you can see there was no convincing candle here. If you ask me, why didn't you take this one? Obviously you can see there is nothing convincing here. Okay, so let's look. This is the biggest candle from the last push here. You see, it's the biggest candle from the last push up here, and this is, by the way, all eyes on me. You see, they don't go all the way to the other end, it's all eyes on me. And then that's when they give you the super big one. Okay, how big is this? This one is roughly 16, but you can see the size, it's big, and there is no bigger candle than this one over here, except the ones that are going down. Okay, which is a clear sign, by the way. Okay, so I always tell you backtest, so that you understand these things better. But look at this, guys. I told you stops are what? 25. Stops are 25 maximum. I just prefer using 25 after all, because that's the safest one. So 25 is somewhere here, you can see. Okay, so they did retest, and now they give you see, look at this, look at this. You see, after testing, they give you this. I've already spoken about this combination countless times. I'm not going to repeat it, because this is a strong combination by itself, where they give you this big one inside and followed by a big one. This is super powerful. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about this, because I believe you have been around for a long time, and if you are new, you haven't subscribed, hit the subscription button so that you don't miss. Okay, so look at this, a big one. This is something we were expecting to see somewhere here, but we never saw it. You see, 1 2 engulfed. You see, that's what we were looking for. From the breakout, we didn't find it. So this is the evidence candle. So we go back to our tick box. Do we have evidence? Yes. Now the final decider. What time is it? Okay, this is the decider, guys, and it's very important to understand that it must be within the right time. What time was this? It was 2 past. Oh, great. It falls within our times. Remember, we spoke about times not long ago. I don't know if you remember, but we did speak about times. So this happened around 21. That's obviously after 20 past, and that is our perfect time. Okay, and then, oh, sorry guys, sorry, they gave you 2 opportunities. Okay, 2 opportunities to enter. 2 opportunities. Okay, you take the first one, you take the second one, and the pattern obviously took more than an hour, so it means you target 100, and your 100 was actually hit here, as you can see, for both positions. And as I said, I prefer holding till the end of the day. Okay, so to do that, mostly I use magic keys, and when it goes to 100, what I do is I lock 50, and again I trail my stop to 25%. Okay, I trail my stops to roughly 25 pips in profit, and I also close 50%. So the other 50%, I leave it to run till the close of the day. Okay, that's how I manage it, because I told you I want to hold till the end of the day. But if it goes 100 and it comes back on you, then that's a different story. Okay, so here you just have to like apply common sense and what you think is rational for you. Okay, you can hold till the close, and you're gonna get the best rewards, the best results in the long term. Okay, but it's not gonna happen every day. But if it goes 100 and then it comes back and closes you, that's another story. Okay, so for me, if it hits 100, I close 50% and I trail to 25% of 25% in profit. So in other words, I've closed 75%. Okay, because if they come back like they did yesterday, they kicked me out when they came back yesterday. Okay, but it's okay, because I had already closed 50%. It's 75%, because I actually trailed to 25% into profit. Okay, so that's what I do. The moment it hits 100, because that's the main target, that's where automatically the magic key will lock 50% and automatically trail what? My stops. Okay, so that's how I manage it. But the main goal, as I said, is to hold till the close of the day, and that's exactly what I did. Or else what you can do is you can take 2 positions. Like, of course, you can take 2 positions here, half the size. Okay, if you're adding, you can add another 2, half the size, and then you can close maybe the first position when it hits 100 and let the one run. But okay, that's also good, because even if they go back on you, you still have profits locked, because it won't make sense for them to go 100 and then come back and close you guys. Okay, but holding to the close is gonna work for the most of the days. Okay, so guys, this one was super perfect, and again, this one again was super perfect. Same thing. By the time they give us an opportunity, they have already violated trap, guys, because it's the same thing. As you can see, they've already violated trap, guys. Okay, And as they've already violated trap, guys, we just remove this one, and that's when they give a super beautiful pattern. Here we didn't have an evidence candle, so that's why I chose the one where I had something. Okay, and this one was already in front, so I used this one to decide on this one, because this one actually broke out too early. If you look at the times, you'll see that this one broke 1635. Okay, where is 1635 or 1635? You see this one broke at 17 already. Okay, so this one was already gone already by the time that other one broke out, but this one gave a beautiful continuation. And the continuation is the one that had a beautiful evidence candle. Okay, and as you can see, this is where they give the evidence, and again this candle was roughly 25. But guys, look at this, this one from here, it went 200. Why? Because this is double volatile. For if if on this one you are targeting 100, on that other one, because it's double, you target 200. So guys, I believe this is so clear. And what I will just want to re-emphasize is, if you realize that you are in any form of a trend, please apply the different kind of trends, okay? Because they have different strategies which cater for trends themselves. Okay, they have strategies that cater for trends. Like for instance, I'm not going to talk about this because I spoke about it in a video I posted yesterday, but if you look at gold yesterday, at the time I was recording, exactly this happened. If you look at the explosive trends, you already have this book, guys. If you look at the explosive trend, you realize that gold yesterday gave an explosive trend exactly as we have outlined it in this book, and even the entry criteria were exactly as outlined in this book. Okay, so guys, if you are in any form of a trend, it's a different strategy by itself. So this is all I want to outline. Okay, and this playbook comes in two parts. The first part comes with two specific strategies for currencies, because I realize most people are not fans of indices, they love currencies. So you can execute on currencies, because I have two full strategies on currencies, and here I have about 10 times, more than 10 types of strategies on this one. And then again we have the explosive one. So you have more than 13 different kind of strategies. You just have to master these, and you'll know exactly what to do depending on what they've given on the day. That's why I said, if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, then it's simply a gamble. But with these things, you will know exactly what you're looking for. I try to make the entire process very flawless and easy for everybody, okay, because that's the most I can do. Okay, I want things to be straightforward. The steps must be clear. I must have steps that I'm able to understand, like I understand my mobile device. That way I'm guaranteed to have the best execution day in, day out. Okay, because I know exactly, if this happens, this is what to expect. If this happens, this is what to expect. And by the way, it's not about your mindset. If this happens, you know what to do. So you must respond. Okay, you don't come with your pre-made decisions. Today they're gonna do this. No, you have to always respond. When they do this, I'm doing this. If they don't do this, I do nothing on the day. Okay, so that is highly important. And guys, I really appreciate you. You have all the information you need. Okay, you have all the information you need. So guys, I believe it's gonna be the same thing even today, tomorrow. If I record tomorrow, I'll be recording about the same thing, because I recorded the same thing yesterday. Each and every day it's the same thing. Okay guys, I really appreciate you. Have a blessed day to all of you. Thank you.